Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Vendasta Sales and Strategy series. I am beyond excited to officially kick off our new webinar series starting today. We have curated about 16 powerhouse sessions for some laser focused tracks for you all, some AI and innovation, sales mastery, growth, and strategy. Our goal here really is to ensure your teams are getting the specialized training they actually need when deploying and scaling Vendasta's AI solutions. Whether it's your frontline reps that are mastering the pitch or your C suite that's diving deep into executive leadership strategy around AI, we're going to be bringing in some pretty heavy hitters every Thursday to help you navigate the shifting tech space. Let's get your teams ready to scale. I want to cover a couple housekeeping items for today's session. It is going to be recorded and it will be distributed to all registrants for playback. As well, we'd love for you to engage in our chat, have some conversations, see some friendly faces. Rashida's here to help answer any questions in the chat, but please head on over to our Q&A feature if you have any larger questions. We might not be able to cover them all today in our live session because we've got a jam-packed agenda, but we will make sure that we address them, especially the most common ones. Well, with that, I want to hand it on over to our first host. He is our head of sales and expansion. You've probably heard his name or seen his face, but it is the lovely Jeff Leibel. I'm going to hand it on over to you, Jeff.
Thanks, Sarah. Everyone can hear me, I hope. I'm just going to share out my slides here for today, and we can probably get started. You guys got me live on the screen? Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for taking time out of your day, first of all, to join us today with a brand new series that we're super excited to kick off here. As Sarah said, my name is Jeff Leibel. I'm the head of growth and expansion at Vendasta. My team is actually responsible for the growth of all of our existing partners. So before Vendasta, I actually spent about 20 years in hospitality. I know totally different industries than SaaS and tech, but it was the same job that you're all doing. You know, keeping your customers happy and getting to spend more time and money with you. I've been traveling a ton this last year. I hit up Denver, Columbus, Cleveland, Las Vegas, New York, and just recently I was in Miami. And the goal there was to spend some time with our partners, understanding the trials, tribulations that they're facing right now, and then just get some honest feedback about our tech, what the industry looks like right now, and just get closer to them. And what I'm going to be doing here today is I'm going to be actually talking about what the top 10% of our partners are doing differently than a lot of our other partners. So there's going to be some great learnings here today. We have 6 different sections here today. I know in less than 40 minutes, it's going to be jam-packed. The first 3 sections are going to set the stage, and the last 3 are going to give you some actionable playbooks from what we learned. Section 4 is going to be the longest. That includes our AI workforce, basket size, economics, and then 3 plays for pricing with actual real math in it. And then 5 and 6 are going to be a little bit more tactical, what winners do, I like to call them. And then there's a 30, 60, 90-day playbook in there for you. So I want to see some reactions throughout this. Use a thumbs up, drop in questions, use a Q&A feature. If we don't get to all of them, as Sarah said, we're going to make our way back to you and get you answers with your success manager or your account manager. Cool. We're going to dive into section 1, which I call the shift. And I want to start by telling you what is actually happening in the market right now. And before we cover, a single stat or strategy, I want to start with these 6 sentences. These 6 sentences are things that I heard from a lot of agency owners, and I hear them continuing on every single week. So hit a thumbs up if you've heard or have mentioned one of these in your office in the last month. 1, I need more clients. I need better profit margins. I need to create efficiencies in my office. I really need to stop the churn. I need to differentiate between cheap competitors in the market, and I need to deliver more without hiring more people. So we're going to go through all 6 in the next 40 minutes, so buckle up. So let me start by showing you where the market is actually playing right now. So we've got our first poll here today. Sarah's going to pop that up on the screen. And I'll give everyone, 30 seconds to answer that. Please take time to give us some honest feedback in here. We're not sharing these with anybody. So this is information about you that just helps us make our presentations a little bit more honed in next time so that we can actually talk to those who attend. Great. So evolution, we talk about this a lot. You've probably been on a demo with Vendasta or talked to myself or one of our other growth specialists here. And we talk about this a lot. Vendasta is not what it was 5 years ago, let alone 17 years ago. Yesterday was software as a service for marketing tasks. You sold the tool. Sometimes you got fired pretty easily for that one tool. Today, it's operational infrastructures for SMBs, CRM, communication, billings, bookings, all that's super mission critical and super sticky. So the platform has really changed in the last 6-12 months. And if you haven't had time to meet with one of us to really dive into what's changed, how it's changing, and where we're going to go, please make sure you reach out to your growth specialist. So I want everyone just to look at that number there, that 60%. So 6 out of 10 SMBs changed their marketing provider in the last 12 months. So that means that half your competitors lost half their book just this year. The market is in motion. Some of you are winning. Some of you are bleeding clients. And some of you don't even know that you're about to bleed clients. The question that I have is, how are you going to move forward? And let me show you why this is happening. So this is why the SMBs actually fire their agency. That's that number underneath that 60% number. So 68% of SMBs cite ROI as the number one reason they fire an agency. It's not price, it's not service, it's outcomes. 60% switched service providers in the last 12 months. So half your competitors lost half their book. Over 2x, that's the churn gap between project work and retainer work. Project work, we feel, and what we see with our partners is dead. And retainers are that moat. And 50% industry-wide PPC churn. It's a large problem, and we're going to address that one head on here today. So there we go. Jump to the next one here. So this is why the SMBs don't hire you. If you think that churn is the only problem, I mean, take a look at this slide. The pipeline is harder to fill than ever. Only 30% of SMBs would recommend their current marketing agency, and 7 out of 10 are sitting on a referral that will just never honestly come in. 40% of SMBs will not outsource at all, period. They don't trust agencies anymore. They've had a bad experience. Trust is the number one hidden barrier. Cost gets the blame, but trust we see is the real reason. The other one is the DIY AI tools are lowering that perceived barrier to them doing it themselves. Every SMB now has ChatGPT, Canva, a website builder out there, or most of them even cite they have a nephew that can do and build all of that. So, if you're nodding all along right now, you truly understand. And again, I just want to come back to this. Cost is rarely the real reason a deal doesn't close. Trust and outcomes absolutely are. So if you take one thing away from this entire presentation, and people that have met with me in the past, this is one of my taglines, which is, stop selling ingredients and start selling the cake. So that's one of the biggest mind shifts that I ask everybody to take in during this presentation here today. So if a prospect is shopping for one tool, they're shopping for the cheapest version of that tool, period. They will buy whoever undercuts that tool the next quarter. You can't win that race, so stop trying. Sell the ingredient outcomes. Sell the integrated outcomes. That's the cake. That's the full operational stack that runs their business. And again, if a prospect wants just one ingredient, let them go as fast as you can. They're going to be a problem, and you never want them as your customer. So this was pulled out of a churn study we did a few years ago, and it's truly something that we talk about quite a bit here at Vendasta. That basket size is retention. One product attached, 30% after 2 years. You're now a line item on that invoice. 4 products, it goes up drastically, but 50% retention, you're just a little bit of infrastructure. Then we get into 6+, and this is really where we're seeing huge strides now with our partners like yourselves right now. 85% retention after 2 years. That is that unfair advantage that we talk about. So 1 to 6 products triple your attention, and that's the business model in just 3 numbers. I'm going to jump into another poll here today. All right, poll's up on the screen. Sarah, give me the thumbs up. Take a couple seconds to read through that and give us an answer. So this is what we call the gold rush right now. I'm going to show you the opportunity, and it's way bigger than most of you even realize. So again, some of you have seen this slide, some of you haven't. So this is the 9 categories that a local SMB needs to run their business: marketing, advertising, CRM, communications, billings and bookings, connectivity, legal, and accounting. That's a 266 billion in total addressable market. And you can see that some of these are growing at a 28% clip every single year. It's not a saturated market. This is a market in motion. Now, let me show you where Vendasta has been and where we're going. So for 17 years, Vendasta has really owned that marketing and advertising space to your channel partners. 2 check marks out of 9, 2 categories, 130 billion in TAM. You know, that is legacy. That's not where we're going now. We're going to continue to support the marketing and advertising efforts, but where we've really moved into is these other pieces, these other 6 categories. And we put AI on top of every single one. So marketing, advertising, CRM, communication, billings, booking. These 6 categories are over $230 billion in TAM. You know, this is a real expansion lane, and this is what we consider the gold rush right now. Now, this is why it all matters. You know, marketing, advertising, important, low switching costs, easy to fire. They can go down the street and go and get those products and services from somebody else, another agency that, for example, would say, I do SEO better and I'm going to get you more keywords and clicks. And that other agency, they're selling you, you know, vaporware. It happens all the time. I hear it day in, day out. That you don't want to be that type of agency going forward. CRM, communications, billings, booking, they're mission critical. SMBs use them every day, and that switching cost is enormous. The benefits flow to you: higher margins, increased retention, less churn, higher engagement. You know, and the fastest way to become an unfireable is to sell mission critical layer. And I'm going to show you what that actually looks like in practice here. Some of you understand this customer journey. I don't want to spend too much time. It was basically captured in the last slides, but this is what we see as a customer journey here, from all the way through every single stage and back. Most of you are actually just playing right now in this phase 1, and you're doing all the marketing efforts to get them found. Maybe, you know, find them with a paid ad or organic website visit or socials, or, you know, produce those reviews. We find that a lot of our partners are missing out in this and the next section here, the phase 2 and phase 3 that we see. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more today. You know, it's so important that you capture all of that, and you can charge for that. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. So we're going to jump into section 3 here, and we call this the cost of inaction. You know, the boat's already left the dock, and we like to ask our partners, are you on that boat that's left the dock? So if you're going to do nothing in 2026, 3 things are going to happen. 1, you're going to lose market share. AI native competitors undercut on spend and price. 2, your existing SMB churn. Point solutions promise the same thing for less. And 3, your margins are going to compress. And take a look at this. This is absolutely true. Gartner forecasts 80% of their customers of the customer service will be AI resolved by 2029, and that clock is ticking. Boom, we're jumping back into another poll. Sarah's going to pop that up on the screen here for us. Great. Give you a few seconds before I ramble on here today. Right. This is what I'm really excited about is that data layer. You know, for 17 years, we've been collecting proprietary first-party SMB data. Most platforms out there, similar to us or competitors or somewhat like us, they just scrape that open source warehouse, where we actually warehouse structured first-party streams as well. So think of things like website data, listings, reputation, conversations, CRM data, as well as social engagement, advertising, and brand voice. You know, better data, as everybody knows, trains better AI, and better AI wins and keeps more customers. And then that is the moat here. You know, every interaction with your SMB clients have to make your AI smarter. And that's really the power of Vendasta. Great. So 5 employees always on the payroll. We've got our AI receptionist answering calls, booking appointments 24/7, after hours, during lunch breaks. We've got a reputation specialist who manages those reviews, surfaces sentiment, all in real time. Our AI salesperson qualifies leads and helps move those deals forward without you. Our CRM AI, brand new to a lot of people here. We're going to talk about that in the upcoming weeks, but it's going to capture all of those conversations, and it's actually going to do things like surface upsell opportunities for you. And then we have things called custom AI employees. And that's where you can operationalize those for your own business. If you have a business problem, I want you to bring it forward to your growth manager in the future here. Tell them about one problem you have within your business that you need help solving, that's a pain in your ass, or you don't want to do, or is too difficult. And we're going to help you build out a custom employee. So available to everybody. You can hire this team. It's all waiting there for you. We're going to jump into a couple examples of those in a few minutes here. Use it, master it, resell it. Here's the playbook that the top 10% are running right now. So 1, use it. Deploy our AI employees for your own business first, if that's your comfort factor. HR, sales, reporting, operations. 2, master it. Learn what works. Train the AI on your domain knowledge, which is so critical right now as we rely on our partners to imbue that knowledge to us so we can help you build that. And then build that internal expertise. And then 3, once you feel comfortable with it, resell it. Package that same AI employee and then sell it to your SMB clients if that's a similar pain point that they have. I mean, it's the same investment, 2 revenue streams. And I'm going to show you those 2 examples that I promised. So meet Pepper. So at Vendasta, we drink our own champagne. Some people call it eating their own dog food. This is exactly what we did here. So Pepper is one of our in-house HR employees. It's our frontline defense, not even defense, but it's our first line communications with our HR team. And I'll give you the problem statement. The problem that we had at Vendasta was we operate in 5 different countries. We have over 600 employees, and rules and regulations and policies and procedures are different in those countries. Could get complicated for 1 or 2 HR specialists to really understand and navigate those. And what it ended up doing was it created a lot of extra time spent on non-important tasks. So as an example, I would go up to the HR department and say, how do I give this person a raise? How do I put a request for hire out there? These are things that I don't do every day. So it's not actually muscle memory for me. So I go up to the HR's office, ask them this, 5 minutes of, hey, how are you doing? Good. How are you doing? This is the problem I have. Great. Let me find the solution for you. And 10, 15 minutes later, they have it over my desk. That's an inefficiency. I can now go to Pepper and ask any question about raises, holidays, learning budgets, vacation for myself and my team. And we allow all of our team to be able to interact with Pepper too. It's going to deliver documentation back to them, advice back to them. And it really frees up our HR team to actually concentrate on what's important, which is developing our in-house talent. So that's one example of ours. We have many more internal AI employees at Vendasta. Here's one that's out in the wild right now. Someone out there on this call built this. This is Claygent. It was built by one of our Vendasta partners. He named it Claygent for a very specific reason. If you've seen some of our other webinar series, you might have understood why he named it that. But the problem that they had internally within the agency is they do a lot of paid advertising. Specifically, questions arise around programmatic display ads. They have a sales team. The sales team comes to the digital ads expert, who happens to be one of the co-founders, and that's a blocker. As a co-founder, he's busy. He's doing other things. He can't always give the time to the team to answer all those questions about, is programmatic display great for a roofing company in Iowa? What should be the budget? What do the deliverables look like? So what they did is they gave all of the knowledge, their workflow, and trained Claygent, who now can answer all of those questions for them. Sales team comes in, asks a question, clarifies a little bit more, maybe dives in a bit deeper with them and gets them to probe the SMB for more information. And then at the end, he spits out a wonderful quote that's ready to send over. So he built it for himself. He mastered it. He's now reselling it. So again, same investment, 2 different revenue streams. Great. So this is our current AI roster. This is what you should be looking at as an agency owner in 2026 is hiring more AI agents to help out your team. So some are available today, like the chat receptionist or the voice receptionist, reputation, sales, social media, blogger, and then some are coming very, very soon. So we're going to have a sneak peek towards the end here of a couple of the new pieces that are going to be hitting our roadmap. But you're available to go and customize these any today. So I don't know if everybody on this chat has deployed any employees for their SMBs, but you should be deploying this internally for yourself. So 3 takeaways. This is a workforce. This is not a feature list. Most are already on our platform, and everyone can resell these with great margin. This is what we call the mandate here. This is going to be the longest section. There's going to be some pricing math in here, some basket size, some plays. So you can pull out a notepad. We're going to share this recording after for everyone to go through. And this is something that I talk to with and through to partners all the time is how should I position, sell? What should I charge for these? A lot of those questions are going to come up. I'm going to throw you 3 different ways Vendasta partners build their own business. So this is what we call the best package. There's permeations of this. So you can add on a couple other Vendasta products or change one of the additions. But this is typically the package I tell partners to go to market with. So your cost, your wholesale cost is $171.50 per client per month for all of these. The real key thing to understand here is these 6 products all talk to each other. Every touch point becomes the data. So again, this is where I fit in that stop selling the ingredients in one of these point solutions and sell the cake. So we're going to run through 3 different scenarios on go-to-market. So this is what we call the SMB volume play. So this is an SMB pays $499 for that wholesale package that we just saw of $171. They charge a setup fee of $250 because honestly, to set up the AI and understand their workflows and maybe configure their pipeline or some of the automations that they want, that takes time. So it's a reasonable amount. One-time setup of $250 a month. Monthly recurring is $499. Think of this as a package for a local small business, and this would be most of their marketing budget. You'll notice that I didn't add any paid ads in here and no SEO. This is really the foundation for this. So when you do the math here, you're going to be receiving about $328 per month in margin for yourself. So the cadence for this is this business would attract and close 6 new partners every month, and just understand that churn is real and 1 would churn out. So they're going to net 5 a month. So in month 24, 2 years, they're going to have 121 active clients. Their run rate is going to be $725,000. And their profit is going to be over $500,000. This is great, steady cash flow built for partners selling small business and local service businesses there. Okay, so this is the mid-market play. This is going to be, let's say, for professional services or home services. Maybe this is a roofing company. Maybe this is a large mid-sized painting company. This is a doctor, lawyer, dentist. This is what this would look like for them. So it's $3,000 per month. Wholesale, again, is $171. The setup fee, because their workflows might be a little bit more complicated, and they'll probably expect a little bit more of a setup fee, we chalk that up to $2,500. And monthly retail is going to be $3,000. So the margin per client is $2,800 per month. These companies are typically harder to attract and close. So in this model, we had 2 new clients, partners per month added, and 1 is going to churn out every 4 months. At the end of 24 months, they're going to have a nice base of about 42 active clients, and their run rate is going to be over 1.5 million. In the profit calculator here, we have it pegged at about 1.63 mil. So this is one of the largest profit leaders that we're going to see in these models. But again, higher value clients are very sticky, especially when you connect all of the back end pieces to it that I talked about before. And this is going to be a hyper growth play. This is our very motivated sales team. $399 per client per month is what they're going to charge. Wholesale still remains at $171. Setup fee is going to be $99. Not a lot of barrier to get them in the door. Their margin is going to be $227 per client per month. The cadence for them is they sign up 20 new, 5 are going to churn, 50 net partners per month. So at the end, they're going to have 365 active clients. The run rate is going to be 1.7 million, and their profits almost at 1.1 million. So this is built for partners selling to very small SMBs at a very high volume. The margin's a little bit tighter, but the engine compounds really fast. So just to summarize here, 3 plays side by side, pick the motion that best suited to you. And we have a lot of partners that sell a combination of 1 and 2 or 1 and 3 as well. This is just to illustrate that there are different models and that the math actually works out. Great. Quick poll here, and I'll do a time check. All right. So I just showed you the 6 core products there. The thing that I did talk about at the very beginning is we haven't even layered in any of the things that you do really well or do internally. SEO, SEM, paid ads, social strategy, videography, maybe direct mail, web design, emails, creative and branding. So that's where you get to layer that on and then really take a look at what the margins would look like. Those were just using solely Vendasta products, but I know everyone has that secret sauce out there and something that they do extremely well in-house. We want you to continue doing that and layer in the other products and services, and which creates a very, very sticky product because you're so entwined with your customers. All right, we're going to jump into the what winners do. So these are the patterns that we're seeing from the top 10% of our Vendasta partners. Thousands of partners on the platform. These are the 10 percenters. We break it into like 4 simple things here. One is master and own the platform. Our winners deeply invest time in learning Vendasta, or as a business owner, they just maybe want to sell or expand or do something else. That's fine. Make sure you assign a dedicated owner to the Vendasta platform. The fluency is not necessarily the founder's job, but it's the founder's job to make someone accountable for that. Second thing they do is they build hero accounts and custom AI employees. They run 1 to 3 demo accounts on real SMBs. So they get hero accounts from their friends and family that they're helping with their marketing efforts, and they use those as demo accounts. They build those internal employees on those accounts. They use them, they master them, and they resell them at scale because they feel comfortable with it. 3, and this is really important, expanding, sell tier expanding, keep hunting for new logos. It's very important. They keep on hunting for new prospects and that you're closing them. But, build a dedicated inside Salesforce function for your existing book in parallel with that. Your clients are already shopping for alternatives if they're on an old legacy product service that you have. It's very important that you upgrade them before somebody else does. Again, one of the pieces I like to point in is the CAC has already been paid for these customers. They're there, they're warm, and we're going to show you how to get them a little bit warmer in the near future here. And then 4, you need to start repositioning yourself and your brand as an AI managed service provider, because that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be running operational infrastructure for them, and it's going to lead to higher margins, lower churn, and it's going to lead to totally different conversations that what you were previously doing before. So, you can't just grab 1 or 2 of these. You need to really encompass all 4 of them to be in that top percentile. Quick poll here. Sarah, I think, give me the thumbs up that should be on everyone's board there. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Rashida, for helping me out navigate this webinar here today. Great. Your recipe. So these are sort of like things that I heard on the road. I took a lot of time to write these down and talk to the partners about these. So it's going to be some questions that I've heard from traveling and talking to partners. So question 1, where do I expand in 2026? It's a great question. I get asked it all the time. I know our growth managers get asked that all the time, is what market should I look at penetrating in 2026? My response is consistent every single time. Go where you have domain expertise. So important. Don't chase trendy verticals that you don't understand. And when you understand those verticals and you have domain expertise, you already know how to speak that language and understand their pain points. Verticalized specialists retain 35% better than the horizontal generalists. Next question. Should I lower prices? I get asked this time and time again, and I say, hell no. A race to the bottom is always a recipe for disaster. Again, stop selling ingredients, start selling the cake. If the prospect is shopping for one tool, it's probably not going to be your customer for much longer because, as I said before, they're going to be pricing you against other point solutions next quarter, next month. Here's a great question. How do I get my clients into the Vendasta platform? This is super simple. Is the only reason why you're hired by SMBs is for leads. It's not branding metrics. It's not any other vanity metrics. It's about getting them more customers. And the way that we get them more customers and into the platform is to sell the Conversations AI tool. They love to understand how their potential customers talk to them, understood them, and it really gives deep insights into why they may not be converting. And when you give them the dashboard and you show them where their leads are and what came in yesterday and the week before and last quarter and last month, you're going to have a very engaged customer. And that customer is going to ask you great questions: is how do I get more of them? How do we tune in the conversations that the AI chat is having with them? How do we, manipulate or change our paid ads so that they convert at a higher rate? And these are all great questions that you're going to have with customers. It's not, what did you bring last week? Those leads weren't great. I didn't get them. This all comes into one unified platform. Number one place that I see partners winning to get their clients engaged with the portal. Oh, great question. How do I grow revenue from 30 to 40% in 2026? Again, build a dedicated inside sales function for your existing portfolio of customers that you have. Remember that acquisition is your most expensive dollar. Continue spending it, just don't spend as much on it, and expand to existing clients in the cheapest revenue that you have that you'll generate. Build the function, give them the goals, the scripts, and AI offers, and set your team on inside sales. Question 5, how do I sell AI to a skeptic SMB? Well, stop selling AI and just sell outcomes. Show them the dashboard, not all the technology that's behind the scenes. A lot of the SMBs don't care. Show them the lead that was captured at 2 a.m. while they were sleeping. Show them the review that was responded to that they forgot about from 2 years ago because the system scraped it. The word AI never came up once, or it doesn't have to come up once in any of those conversations. SMBs buy results. And the fastest way to lose a skeptical SMB is to use the word AI in the first sentence when introducing yourself. I run digital ads. How does Vendasta help? Great. We run into a lot of agencies that do run tons of ads, and that's great. You're an expert. We have a solution if you're having trouble with paid ads. Shameless plug for our Vendasta ads and Matchcraft. But if you're running ads, you need to really take a look at what we've built. We've seen conversion rates go up by 30, 40% when they add in some of our technology. We give the SMBs the channel, or the prospects the channel, to where they want to convert and when they want to convert. So if you haven't done a demo of, hey, I run ads, how can Vendasta help? Reach out to your growth manager. They would love to show you how we plug in our web forms, how we plug in our chat, how we plug in our voice, our SMS, and how we allow those ads to convert at a way better clip. Couple last questions here. My SMB saying that pricing is too much. How do I push back on them? Don't sell the software. Sell what's doing something for them and cost them nothing. One missed call for your SMB might be $5,000 in lost revenue, and our AI receptionist captures all of that for $79 wholesale a month. a 1-star review drops revenue from 5 to 9%. For a $1 million business, that's 50 or 60 or 90 grand. Reputation AI prevents a lot of that. Part-time receptionists for your business or for one of your customers' business, $3,000 a month. Again, AI receptionist is $79 a month. That's 38 times cheaper. And again, it never quits. It never gives you flack. It knows the branding. It knows the script. It works 24/7. That pricing pushback disappears when the cost of doing nothing is actually on that table. Great question. Is AI going to replace my agency? Yeah, only if you let it. AI replaces agencies that don't use it, not the ones that do. Your competitors are already, becoming AI powered. You need to be that agency that adopts it, not the one that's replaced by it. And this is a choice for everybody. This is not a forecast. This is an absolute choice that everybody can make today on their own. Great. 30, 60, 90-day playbook. I know we're running up to time here, but I just wanted to give you guys just a quick piece that we talk to partners about all the time. Day one, pick one trusted SMB. Everyone has a friend or family that owns a small business in your community that you could go to them and say, hey, I want to give you some free software and I want to try this out on you. Turn on the conversations AI, make them your hero account. Get to understand the technology by using them and then reaping the rewards from it as well. And then pretty simple after that, you're going to package and pitch it. You're going to build an AI upgrade offer for every single one of your existing clients. And then, you're just going to pitch and you go through the 30, 60, 90 day there. The goal is to expand to 5, 10 accounts by the next time we meet in a month from now. Poll time. Sarah gave me the big thumbs up here. Oh, want to jump into a sneak peek of 3 different fairly large pieces that are going to be hitting our roadmap very quickly here. Some of you know about it, some of you don't. So CRM AI, that's what we call the CRM that closes for you. It's going to have things like predictive deal scoring. AI ranks every call by opportunity, probability, and you don't have to do a lot with that. Conversational intelligence. So every call, meeting, and chat is captured, scored, and then turned into the next best action recommendations. We have our AI sales assistant in there. It's going to auto coach reps in real time, surface upsells, triggers, and then flag some churn risks before that deal stalls out. Great status on this one is it's rolling out right now. So talk to your account manager if you haven't had a demo of this or you'd like to start selling this. And this can be a game changer for a lot of people here. Don't be scared of the word CRM. We built our platform so that we can use minimal features or lots of features. Great. Social AI. This is going to be 2 employees. It's going to be the one app, the social app there. And we're going to have 2 pieces to it. We're going to have a short form. So that's going to be the AI social media manager. So it's going to be able to go in and understand the brand, read through the data, understand what they want to say in just a directional conversation. I would like a 3-week social campaign built out on all the social platforms for a car company. You have all the data, you know all about them. You've read their website, you've seen their GMB, you have all their data. And I want it to be about this new 20% off if they say that Jeff sent you. It will actually go out and build out those campaigns in X, in Insta, in Facebook, and actually set out the schedule and publish them. Video is coming soon. Right now, you're going to have access to our imagery, AI generated or static images in there. And you're able to publish out that schedule. Say to your client, I just built this all out for you. Do you approve it? And they're going to be able to launch it. And then we have our AI blogger. So think of 2,000 word, professionally written, AI generated blogs. Again, I need 3 blogs to support this new thing that we're doing in our business or that my customers doing at their business, and it'll give those all back. And you can tweak it and play with it and train it and tune it so that it writes exactly on point every single time. That's going to be general release early May here. And then we're going to have a big marketing launch in towards the end of May. But it's wholesaling for 24 all the way down to 19, depending on your subscription level. And then this is one of the coolest things. I know there's probably some nerds out there that are on, AI studios, and they're out there, vibing everything, building apps, websites, landing pages, solving the world's real problems. But those are super shallow and hard to do at scale here. So for those people that don't understand Vibe, it's going to be allowing you to build apps and products by chatting in plain English. No coding, no engineers needed for this. It's going to be wired directly into the Vendasta. The forms flow directly into the CRM, for example. So you don't need any Zapier, no silos. You own the code, which is really cool. It's all going to be editable. There's going to be no black box and no lock-in for that. So 71% of partners surveyed called Vibe, Vendasta Vibe, a true game changer. We've actually, I'll just tell the quick story here. We actually took a piece of software that we had that was costing us a lot of money. It's a ticketing system. You can probably guess what it was called. And we replaced it for our entire workforce. We're using our Vibe here. So that's coming out. Beta is going to be May 5th. General announcement is in June. So I know we're at time. Everyone can read through this. I'm going to send the deck out to everybody if you'd like it after. I just wanted to mention here, there's a couple different ways you can communicate with us. Book in with your growth manager, your account manager, success manager. I love talking to partners. If it ever comes up that you want to spend some time with me, I always make time to sit down, talk to your account manager, talk to your customer service manager, and just say, hey, I'd love to have a strategic business review with yourself and Jeff at some point in time. I appreciate the time everyone made here today. I know 45 minutes midweek is a tall ask, but I really do appreciate everybody for making time. As we said, we've got this new series. It's going to be focused around selling and strategy. We're going to actually dive into a lot of the things I talked about today in way more detail. The goal is to make it a little bit more interactive for you all. So I'd love the feedback. Send me an email. Be my friend on LinkedIn. I don't know if we have my LinkedIn. Sarah's going to pop my LinkedIn up there. Yeah, you can DM me there. Again, it's jleibel@vendasta.com is my email address. And it's spelled JLEIBEL@vendasta.com. That's my email. And I think that is it for me. I know there's probably some Q&As that were sent out there, questions asked. We're going to get to those. We're going to get those over to your account manager, and we're going to respond to all of those in the next few days. So once again, thank you from beautiful sunny Saskatoon. Wishing you nothing but the best. Talk soon.